What's going on, you guys? Welcome to episode 5 of the Athlete Mental Game Coaching Podcast. I am your host, the Director of Coaching, Cole Russell. This is our owner and founder, Desi Maynor. Both familiar faces at this point, hopefully.
What's up, everybody?
So, first things first, everything that we've already talked about in previous episodes, the Costly Mental Game Mistakes workbook, the confidence course, all that stuff is going to be down in the description. So, by all means, go check it out. It's going to be really good for you guys to get started on your mental game journey. And that's why we're here. We're here to be as guides, and those are perfect little maps to use. So first topic that we want to talk about today is trust in teammates and or coaches and how the importance of it. So right now, I just want to ask, when we talk about trust, we talk about trusting your teammates, trusting your coaches, what even is that? What does it mean?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
I always think of an example. Football, basketball, soccer, whatever it may be, is somebody comes to me after the game and says how did you know that Bobby was going to be there? I'm like, well, he winked and turned his head to the left. Yeah. How did you know what that meant? Because I'd been playing with him for so long. Right. So to me, it's that's a good analogy of trust. But trust is essentially trusting in their abilities and trusting in their character, as well as the overall culture and knowing that they're as bought in as you. So I think that's what trust is. So when you have to lean on them, and that's kind of the definition of how do we know? Right. If you feel like that you can make that pass to them. When the game's on the line or crunch time or whatever, and you have no worry about their abilities to at least make it happen, and provide the opportunity for the team. That's how you know when you're okay leaning on them in a time when maybe you're being double teamed, triple teamed, whatever it is. If you trust that teammate, you'll get it to them.
So it goes beyond just the technical side of things. We could be both really good at our sport, but we could not have any trust in each other. So it goes beyond just the ability of how good you are on the court and field. It
Absolutely.
Goes much farther than that.
I think it has a lot to do with consistency.
Yeah.
If I know, what I'm going to get out of my coach or out of my teammate every day, and say that that's a 7 out of 10, and I know I'm going to get that every day. When I make that pass or I have to land on that teammate, I know what I'm going to get.
Right.
That's going to give me a 70% chance.
Right.
So I think that consistency plays a huge role in it.
For sure.
So to be a good teammate, and as well as identifying or evaluating your teammates and coaches. For sure. Is your coach up and down all the time, or are they always up, or are they always relaxed?
Right.
Because then that's going to predictability.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Going to provide predictability.
Yeah.
So,
I think for us, you're going to have different teammates, different coaches that you trust way more than others, right?
Absolutely.
We're not naive to know that you're going to trust one teammate more than you trust the other. And especially, you're play football, right? Especially in your sport, you see probably the players that have the most relationships are a center and a quarterback.
Yep.
Right?
And I was a center.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that relationship and why your relationship with your quarterback is way different than your relationship with a wide receiver or someone on defensive line.
Mutual respect.
Yeah. And
time together, effort together, and mutually beneficial also.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I think the time, when you talk about how to build trust, you got to spend time together.
Yeah, I think that's the most
important. And not just whatever, we're going to play video games, that too.
Yeah.
But hey, what, were you firstborn, secondborn? How did that affect you? What are your plans? What are your goals? Get to know the person as well as the athlete is very, very important.
Yeah.
It gives that deeper seated foundation. And repetition. My quarterback and me, it was 100 snaps before practice.
For sure. Yeah.
Before practice, we put in that many reps together. So I knew his quirks.
Yeah.
I knew, if he held his hand here, that meant something different than here. For your listeners, go to YouTube and watch it. And you'll understand what that means. But all those little quirks, they don't come out in 5 minutes.
No,
it takes a while to feel the other person out, to feel the coach out, and it's really important to know those things, and
For
the
sure.
only way you know them is by doing them over and over again.
For sure, absolutely. Like, and to speak on that, right? Like, one of our coaches, Jake Kroll, we played together in college at Spring Arbor, and our chemistry was phenomenal. Like,
Yeah.
there were so many times
It's a good way to put it, chemistry.
Yeah, there were so many times where he didn't even look, and he pinged a 40-yard pass, and it was on the dot to my foot, right? And vice versa, where I'm playing him a ball, and it's right to his foot. I don't even need to look, just because before training, we were always doing stuff together, lifting, whatever. Outside of training, we were hanging out. Granted, like, our on the field positions were next to each other, right? So we combined a lot. So I think, like, if those relationships aren't sprouted outside, like, if I don't get to know the person
off the field,
if I don't get to know the person before the player, that chemistry on the field is going to be non-existent.
Right. And also, like, you played so much together that he knew how you, as in Cole, reacted to a certain situation.
Oh, yeah.
Or to a certain theme.
For sure.
Or problem on the field. And so it was instinct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? It wasn't, I thought about this. No, it was instinct.
Yeah.
You know, so if those instincts aren't kicking in, you have a trust problem.
Absolutely.
You know, so, and I think soccer is a good example of it. But I mean, apply it to every single sport. If you're a single sport athlete, apply it to your coach and wherever your support staff is, because you probably have one, and it becomes really, really important that you trust them.
Yeah, and we talk about all the time, like, when you're on the field in competition, we don't want you to think at all.
No,
right? We want you to fully play on instinct, just free flowing.
Yeah,
but all that happens by your work leading up, right?
Yes,
and the relationships with your teammates are the exact same. Relationships with your coaches are the exact same.
Yeah.
Right? Everything is built before competition.
Absolutely.
Right? If you're not meeting with them in your office, their office, if you're not meeting with each other outside, you're not hanging out, you're not lifting together, you're not eating together, right? That relationship on the field, you're gonna have to think so much. In those moments, I mean, these moments go by quickly.
There's a great example of this, the movie The Miracle. They're all a bunch of individuals, and they're skating. He's like, blow the whistle, blow the whistle, blow the whistle. And the other coach actually leaves because he's like, I can't do it anymore to these guys, because they're dying. Like, we all know that. More suicides, right? And finally, the one dude says, like, I play for United States of America. And that was the first time anybody had said that. And that's ownership into something bigger than the individual.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's where you have to get. That's where true trust lies. I mean, we've heard coaches say before, at least I have, like, we're playing for this name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's when you've got a team of athletes doing that together, then now you know that you have that trust, and those instincts will kick in automatically.
Absolutely.
So
right. So I think that's the most important thing of why trust, like, why it's even important. It's like, we have to know everything about each other so that on the field everything's free flowing.
Yeah,
you don't need to be
in like scenarios on the field too.
Yeah,
as well as personally. Hey Cole, when this happens and that happens, how do you usually respond, or how would you think I would respond? That's a good one. Yeah, ask those questions. Of like, hey, how do I go do this? Get to know your people better on and off the field, how they respond to things, how they think about things, what's their game theory like versus yours. All those types of things is going to be really beneficial. And it might get you that one instinctive pass or touchdown or three-pointer or whatever it is that could change the game for you and win you a championship, a game, or who knows what. Yeah,
and that reminds me of a certain personality test that we like to do all the time.
Yes.
DISC is so important in how we operate together, working together. And even more importantly, when I was an athlete and I went through that, it was like, okay, I know how I react to these situations, right? And now I'm like, okay, this is how I need to talk to my teammates this way.
Yep.
They're going to respond the correct way here. If I talk to them, like, in an angry tone, but they're like, hey, you need to, like, talk to me straight up, like, just relax.
Yeah.
They're not going to understand. There's so many different avenues of how teammates communicate. So
understanding your styles and your teammates' styles. And, like, there's lots of stuff out there. We have one as well. Let us know if you're interested in that.
Yeah.
Obviously, comment, and we can get that to you. But that becomes really important. Ask those questions, about how they communicate. And are they fast-paced? Are they steady-paced? All those different types of things.
Yeah.
The better your trust is going to be,
Yeah.
the better you're going to perform, the more confident you'll be,
Yeah.
and the more fun you'll have playing your sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, like, let's not forget that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're having fun, you're playing at your best. So
Absolutely.
for sure, I think that's the most important thing about trust and why we need to have it in every single game, practice, right, team that we're a part of. So constantly build trust with yourself, with your teammates, with your coaching staff, and you guys will end up being more successful. It's not an overnight thing, right? Nothing ever is, right? But if you start to build trust over time, you're going to see exponential results.
Oh yeah.
Throughout your career and with
go
your
do
teammates.
it like today.
Yeah, go start creating those relationships. Go start building that trust, and then you'll be a better off as an athlete. So with that being said, that's the conclusion of this podcast. Last thing, again, go hit the description, right? Like, comment, subscribe as well. But go hit the description. Go look at all of our costly mental game mistakes workbook, our confidence course. Check out our website. You want to talk to us in person, right? Go click on our calendar link. You can get right on. We'll have a 30-minute phone call with you, a Zoom call, where we just dive in and see where you want to start your mental game journey. So with that being said, we'll see you guys in episode 6.